All right, let's be on the record in case number 2019CR914, caption State of Kansas versus Isias Vela. Would the parties announce their appearances, please?
State of Kansas appears by and through Assistant District Attorney Garrett Ralph.
May it please the court, Your Honor, Klein Boone appears in person with his client via Zoom.
All right, we were originally set down today for a prelim in person, but Mr. Boone contacted us and indicated that he and his client were ready to waive preliminary hearing and that we could just do it electronically. Is that correct, Mr. Boone?
Judge, that is correct. I told my client obviously he has the right to appear in person for any hearing at this point in time, but he is going to waive his right to appear in person to handle this preliminary hearing waiver. Is that correct, Mr. Vela?
Yes.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Vela, I assume Mr. Boone talked to you about what a preliminary hearing is and your right to it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so yeah, at that hearing, the state would have to put on enough evidence for me to find probable cause a crime was committed and that you committed that crime. Now, look, I know that this waiver is happening because you're all working on a plea, but you have to understand that this waiver is final. In other words, if you guys don't work out a plea, you're not going to be able to come back later and go, well, now I want my preliminary hearing. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right, and are you waiving your right to a preliminary hearing today?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Ralph, on behalf of the state, do you also waive the state's right to a preliminary hearing?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, I'll find both parties waive preliminary hearing, find there is probable cause to believe a crime has been committed, that the defendant committed the crime, bind him over for trial. Mr. Boone, waive a formal reading of the charges, enter a plea of not guilty.
That is correct.
All right, the record shall so reflect. All right, you said 4 to 6 weeks for a status.
Yes, Judge, that would be perfect.
All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How about July 27th at 9:30? I'll just put it on my, oh, I'm sorry, make that July 28th at 9:30. It'll be on my regular call of the docket, and we can either do it like this, or if you guys have something ready to go before then, we can just schedule it around that. Does that work for you, Mr. Boone?
Yes, Judge.
All right, and you, Mr. Ralph?
Yes, Judge, that works for me.
July 28th at 9:30 for a pretrial conference. Anything else for our record today?
No, Judge. Thank you.
No,
All right,
Judge.
thank you, guys. Have a good day.
All right,
Thank
bye.
you.